Welcome to Module 1, What Do You Want? This is the first audio-enhanced video lecture for EPY 150, Strategies for Academic Success. So this first module is all about you discovering what you want. This class is not about being stranded in Death Valley. It's not about leaving you hanging or giving you no help. Instead, this class is really about finding your path, and that's the purpose of EPY 150. So remember that as we're going through this first module, that this class really is about finding your path. Here's some reminders for Module 1. So these next few slides really are to get you focused on some key things in Module 1. First, I want to remind everyone that it's important to reach out and meet new people. One of the ways that we're doing this is through discussion posts. So hopefully you've already done this, but make sure that you have written an introductory post. This is a way to reach out and build community in an online class, which is an important feature of being successful in college, is reaching out to other people. So by now you should have printed out your syllabus, because I know that you took the syllabus quiz in order to access this learning module. But I also know that you might not have actually read the entire syllabus. So make sure that you do. This is important. The syllabus is a contract between you and me, or another way of looking at it is between you and the school. So you need to know the contents of all of your course syllabi. Syllabi is plural for syllabus. So you need to know that. The second thing is I'd like to bring up what is a free pass. Sometimes students get confused about this. A free pass really is, you can use it 2 different times during the semester when you just need a little bit of extra time. But you only have 2 opportunities to take that, so use your free pass option wisely. The third item that the syllabus really helps with is helping you understand how I grade. So it gives kind of a breakdown of how I assign final grades. Total number of points you've earned over the semester divided by 600. And finally, one little reminder that's sort of hidden in the syllabus is, what is the key word for the rules of community? Did you find it? Do you know? It's respect. So I'm looking forward to this semester, so if we can maintain respect and focus. Here's some ideas for you to consider for this semester. Come to class regularly. That means come to class online. Come to class prepared. Ask questions. Ask for help. Get the textbook as soon as possible. Start today. Remember to breathe and be here now. These are keys to success in any class. Here's some important ideas for Module 1. I've created this class based on some big ideas from philosophy and psychology, so I like to talk about them a little bit. The first idea comes from the discipline of pragmatic philosophy, and pragmatic philosophy says do what works. It's a very American idea. The second idea comes from behavioral psychology, and they really have the idea that behavior can be shaped and changed. You're not doomed to stay the same. Cognitive psychologists have something slightly different to say, and what they say is that what we think about influences our behavior. If you get up in the morning and you're bummed out, that might influence how you behave. If you're really happy and you're thinking about positive things, that also influences your behavior. So I want you to notice this is a theme that we're going to keep coming back to in this class. And finally, because of my own expertise in Eastern philosophy, I like to bring that up as well. And some ideas from Eastern philosophy include having a beginner's mind, and also from Buddhist psychology, the idea that human beings have 5 different ways of perceiving reality. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about these 5 ways of being. In Eastern philosophy, or Buddhist psychology in particular, the idea is that there's 5 different ways that we experience the world. We experience the world through our bodies, through our feelings, our thoughts, our judgments, and overall through our consciousness. So let me back up and kind of explain or explicate each one of these ideas. So just consider where you are right now. Wherever you are where you're listening to this or watching this, whether it's on your phone or the computer, what position is your body in? How does your body feel? Do you have any aches and pains? If you have a back pain, that might distract you from listening, right? If you're angry about something else that happened today, that might influence how you're perceiving or listening to this lecture. The third thing I know is that some of you are not actually listening. You have some stream of conversation happening in your mind right now, and you're paying attention to that. So we perceive things through random thoughts that keep coming through our head. Like, when is she going to stop talking? How long will this class take? I need to go do the next thing. So notice that this is constantly happening in our experience. We're constantly jabbering at ourselves. Now, the interesting thing about all 3 things, bodies, feelings, and thoughts, is what we then do is we begin to make judgments about our experience. Oh, I'm bad. This is a bad situation. I shouldn't be this way. I should be better. So notice how many times you make judgments about your experience through your body, your feelings, or thoughts that you're having. Now, the interesting thing that the Buddhist psychologists point out to us that we have a 5th function, which is that we have consciousness, which means we can be aware of all of these different strains of experience. And if we're aware of what we're doing, then we can change what we're doing. Radical concept. In addition to understanding the philosophy behind this class, I want you to learn about how to write goals. Behavioral scientists tell us that people are more likely to be successful in general if they make goals. So if you haven't already seen this, when you look ahead to homework 1, you'll see that one of the things that I want you to do is write some goals for this semester. When you're writing those goals, I'd like you to use these 3 basic rules. The first rule is that your goal should be specific and clear. So it should make sense to someone who doesn't know you if you just said it to them. Sometimes people say, I want to be more successful. But that actually doesn't mean very much. So think about what it is that you actually would like to improve and name it. The second goal is that goals should be measurable. One example of a very measurable goal is to say, I'd like a 3.0 at the end of the semester, which is I'd like to have a B average. Totally doable. Sometimes people say they want to do something but don't have a way to measure it. It's harder to get a goal if it's not measurable. The third rule for writing goals is that goals should be reasonable. You have to set a task for yourself that's reasonable. You're not going to run up Mount Whitney next week. It's more likely that you're going to work out 3 times a week or maybe even 15 to 30 minutes a day. So think about the changes that you want to make in your life and how you can take a reasonable, clear, and measured approach to those goals, and then practice by writing some significant goals for homework 1. There's a lot of great ideas in the textbook Becoming a Master Student, so I'd like to highlight a few that you'll find in the introductory chapter. The first is an article about master student qualities on pages 3 to 6. So check this out. You have some questions about it in your homework assignment, but I also want you to really look at this list. What do you think about it? What do you think about the idea of being joyful? Another idea from the textbook is that in order to be successful, you have to tell the truth. And the person you have to tell the truth to is yourself. You're the most important person in this. Tell the truth to yourself. Consider that it would be very difficult to change your behavior if you didn't. Another great article is on pages 28 to 29, How to Change a Habit. So make sure to check that out so you can decide what habits you want to embrace. And finally, I want you to also consider how you are making transitions this semester and who can help you in this endeavor. So to sum up, let's talk about what is the purpose of EPY 150. Why are you doing this class anyway? One of the things we're doing in this class is we're practicing brain-based study skills to study smarter, not harder. We also want to discover flow, that place where we are so excited and challenged and have the right skills that we just get lost in our work. We want to do that instead of worry. We want to develop healthy habits. What healthy habits can really help us this semester so that you, again, are not stranded in Death Valley, but that rather you find yourself in Hope Valley, that place of being hopeful and charged up for the rest of your life and certainly your academic career.